Hello, we are going to go over our practice quiz before quiz day. All right. First directions, you guys are actually missing these. I added this to make it easier. We're going to round to the nearest hundredth if necessary. So right now, add that onto your paper before we get started. All right, let's take a look. We're going to zoom in on number 1. It says write the fractions below as decimals. So there's a couple ways to remember. This fraction line means to divide. If you're not sure which one goes inside the fraction, where it goes when you divide, we talked about maybe cowboy and horse, but here we go. All right, so cowboy gets to go inside and the horse stays on the outside. All right, so first things first, 6 goes into 5 0 times. Oh, can't do it, so let's add a decimal. Once we add a decimal, we can add some zeros onto there. We might even want 2 zeros. Let's try it. 6 goes into 50 now. I know you can use your multiplication chart if you need to. It goes in there 8 times. 8 times 6 is 48. I'm going to subtract and get 2. Bring down the 0. 8 goes into 20. 3 times 3 times 6 is 18. If I subtract, oh, look at that. I got another 2. Isn't that just going to keep on going? So this will just keep on going. There's a couple ways to write that. You can either go dot, 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 or you can use bar notation, which would be 0.83. And since the 3 is what repeats, we'd put a little bar on top of the 3. Either one of those is totally correct. The directions do say round to the nearest hundredth, though. So the hundredth spot, if you remember, is right here. There's tenths and hundredths. I'm going to round to that spot right there. So I look to the right. Oh, it's not 5 or greater. So 4 or less. Let it rest. Let it be whatever you remember. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put that over here on my answer key. I'm going to have 0.83. All right, let's do the next one. Next one is a mixed number. I have one whole number, so I'm going to put a 1 over here, a period, and then I need to do the 4/5. That's the only part I really need to divide because I know I have one whole number and then some fraction or decimal. So here I go, 5 into 4. It goes in there 0 times. So I can write a 0, add it. All right, and then I can add a 0 onto 40. 5 goes into 40 8 times. Look at that, exactly. That's it. So I'm going to come on over here, and I'm going to put 8 on there. Now, if it says go to the 100 spot, I could put a 0 here, but it says round if necessary. There's nothing else to round, so I could just leave it like that. They're both correct. All right, last one, let's go. This one is very long. I accidentally made a problem that just goes on and on and on. So that's why I said we're just going to stop and round. All right, 7 goes into 2 0 times. So let's add a decimal and some zeros on there. All right, 7. In fact, I'll just put another one on there while I'm at it. 7 goes into 20 2 times. Subtract. 7 cannot go into 6, so I'm going to bring that 0 down. 7 times 8 is 56. And I'm going to subtract. I'm going to get a 4. 7 goes into 40. 5. Yeah, I think 5 times is going to work. 35. This will keep on going and going. Thank goodness I said, hey, let's stop and round the 100th spot. So we're going to look to the right. Oh, that is 5 or greater. I don't know what you're saying is, but I'm going to round up. So I'm going to get 0. Oh, I want a different color. 0.29. Ta-da! We feeling good on those? All right, those were kind of a lot of work. These are going to go fast. Here we go. Round to the nearest 10th spot. So definitely underline what spot that's going to be. This is the 10th spot. So look to the right. Is it 5 or greater? I only look at the number to the right. You don't have to look at the 5 and 2. It is. So that is 4 point, instead of 6, I'm going to round up to 7. All right, the next one. Round this to the nearest hundredths. Oh, that bar tells me that it's 5.666. It's going to just keep going, right? And I want to round to this spot, the hundredths. So I just look to the right. Oh, that's going to make it larger. So that'd be 5.67. Good. The nearest cent on money, do you remember? Money goes out to the hundredth spot, right? That's where our cents is. So, well, that's a big arrow. I'm going to look to that 3. All right, 3 is smaller than 5. We don't have to round up, so let's write it as money. It needs a dollar sign first. $4.52 is correct. All right, number 7, there's no math to do, but it says write it correctly as money. And we just said money goes out to the hundredth spot, so that would be 7.40. Good. All right, write 2 4/18 as an improper fraction. Here I go. Woo, to do improper, you multiply those two. So that would be 36. And then you add on the 4. So that'd be 40. That's not a fraction. We're going to keep it as 40/18. Here we go. Come here. 40/18. You could simplify that also, or leave it. It looks like 2 would go in there. You could write that, or you could write 2 goes into 40 20 times, and 2 goes into 18 9 times. There you go. All right, and then write this one as a mixed number, number 9. So what you do, I'm going to zoom back in. You divide. 6 goes into 14 2 times with a remainder. 6 times 2 is 12. 14 take away 12 is 2. I've got a remainder of 2. You keep the denominator the same. There it is. That is mixed. That is correct, except it's good practice to simplify it. 2/6 is the same as 1/3. So 2 1/3. Ta-da! All right, is that coming back to you? Okay, now we're going to go to fractions. Oh, look at this, in simplest. Simplest, that's a big deal. Simplest fraction, okay? Woo! Alrighty, so let's look at this first one. In order to add or subtract fractions, you need a common denominator. Look at that. Isn't 15 and 15? Look, they're already the same. They're common. We got it. So you can add straight across. 2 plus 9 is 11. And then you always keep it in terms of whatever the denominator is. So these are 15ths. That's it. Can't be simplified anymore. Ooh, I love that problem. Nice and easy. All right. Next one. I'm going to subtract. Oh, these need a common denominator. So you're going to ask yourself, what number can 5 divide into and 3 can divide into? It's a bigger number, all right? It's a big number. So I'm going to rewrite this. They both go into 15. All right. I'm just going to ask myself, what did I do to this fraction here to get 15 in the bottom, in the denominator? Do you notice that 5 times 3 gets 15? So what you do to the denominator, you do to the numerator, or the bottom and the top of the fraction. 4 times 3 is 12. I'm going to do the same thing to this fraction. All right, what did you do to 3 to get 15? Oh, I multiplied by 5. So you do that to the top. 1 times 5 is 5. Ta-da! Now we can do the math. Keep the denominator the same. 12 minus 5 is 7. That cannot be simplified anymore. We're done. 7/15. Ta-da! All right, 2 more problems. We got this. All right, division. Watch out for division. Bum-ba-da-bum. Some of you practiced in elementary school. You guys did something called keep. Whoa, keep, change, flip. Does that look familiar? So we're going to keep the first fraction the same, which is 13/20. When they say change, they mean division. We're going to do the opposite operation of division, which is multiply, multiplication. And then the last one says flip, which is a terrible word for Reciprocal, because we're in junior high. I can't even read that. We're going to change that. Flip it upside down. So 15 over 14. Now, if you're looking for a challenge, I would highly recommend cross-canceling that 15 and 20. But I know a lot of you don't like it, so here we go. This is 280 in the denominator, which is huge. And I'll tell you right now, this is 195. All right. Use your multiplication chart. That one's pretty big. That one's pretty gross. All right. And then I know that 5 goes into 195 and 280. So here I go. 5 goes into 195. Use your calculator if you want. 39 times. And 5 goes into 280. 56 times. Here's an easier way to do it. Look at this. 5 goes into 15 3 times. 5 goes into 20 4 times. That would have taken me straight to the answer already simplified. All right, let's write our answer over here. 39 over 56. All right, last one. Here we go. It's subtraction. So we're going to need common denominators. I think I'm going to change this first, though. Put it into an improper fraction. 2 times 12 is 24 plus 1. That changes it to 25 over 12. And then I still have minus 5 6. All right, there's the problem I need to do. What number do 12 and 6 both go into? If you can't think of the smallest one, that's okay. You'll just simplify it at the end. But I know that 12 and 6 both go into 12. So 12 and 12. What did I do to this problem, this fraction, to get 12? Nothing. Keep it the same. What did I do to this 6 to get 12? Oh, I multiplied by 2, so do that to the top numerator. 5 times 2 is 10. Ta-da! All right. That should be 15 over 12. If I wanted to simplify that, I know 3 goes into both of those. That'd be 5 over 4. If I wanted to change that to improper, that could be 1 and 1/4. I'll take either one. I like both of those answers. So 5/4 or 1 and 1/4. There it is. That is very similar to the quiz you're going to take next class. If you have any questions, please come get help or rewatch this video until you feel good about it. Good job, everybody.